History of Taxation in the Philippines by Group 7. Today, we will be discussing about taxation in the Philippines. Before we proceed, let us first identify the meaning of tax. Ano nga ba ang tax? A tax is a compulsory financial charge or some other type of levy imposed on a taxpayer by a governmental organization. In order to fund government spending on various public expenditures, a failure to pay in a timely manner along with evasion of the resistance to taxation is punishable by law. Now, ano naman ang taxation? Taxation is the act of imposing taxes and the fact of being taxed, while tax is money paid to the government other than for transaction-specific goods and services. And paying taxes to government or official has been a mainstay of civilization since ancient times. Now, let's proceed to the history of taxation in the Philippines. As we all know right now, we are being taxed when we eat, when we travel, and everything we buy. So, paano nga ba ito nagsimula? Well, it all started from the ancient Filipinos where they paid their taxes to their datu or chiefs for the protection that they give to them, and the tax was termed buwis. Buwis in Filipino language, and everyone is required to pay their taxes except for the datu and also to chieftains, households, and punishment for not paying taxes were also meant on this period. The arrival or invasion of the Spanish people from 1521 to 1898 gave the Filipinos modern concepts of taxation, wherein 16 years old to 60 years old were forced to pay tributes to the King of Spain through the colonial government worth 8 reals or 1 peso per year. But there are also other forms of payment like gold, chickens, textiles, rice, and forced labor or polo y servicio. And do you know that men suffered a lot during polo y system and led to high death rates due to hard labor? Tax during Spanish colonial period is considered as a burdensome impost on Filipino. In 1884, the tribute was abolished and was replaced by the cedula. A cedula is a certificate identifying the taxpayer that needs to be carried all the time. If someone is not able to present their cedula to a guardia civil, they will be imprisoned for being undocumented, which means that they lack a valid document or legal personal identification necessary to prove their identity. Cedula is a tribute that every person has to pay, and this based on a person's income. It means that the higher the income, the higher the taxes will be. There are two types of taxes or two classes of taxes, the direct and indirect taxes. The direct taxes are primarily taxes on natural persons, and they are typically based on the taxpayer's ability to pay as measured by income, consumption, or net wealth. Direct taxes are taxes on a natural persons. In the case of direct tax, the burden can be shifted by the taxpayer to someone else. There are largely taxes on income or wealth. Ang indirect taxes naman are levied on the production or consumption of goods and services or on transactions, including imports and exports. Examples include general and selective sales taxes, value-added taxes or VAT, taxes on any aspect of manufacturing or production, taxes on legal transactions, and customs or import duties. The indirect taxes are based on indexes that can be passed to another entity or individual. They are usually imposed on the manufacturer or supplier who can passes on the taxes to the consumer. We have types of indirect taxes: sales, excise, customs, and gas taxes. Now let's proceed to progressive and proportional tax. Progressive tax is characterized by a more than proportional rise in the tax liability relative to the increase in income. A progressive tax is one where the average tax burden increases with income. Ang proportional tax naman is a tax imposed so that the tax rate is fixed with no change as the taxable base amount increases or decreases. Proportional tax is an income tax system that levies to some percentage tax to everyone regardless of income. Briefly, tax is an amount of money that you have to pay to the government so that it can pay for public services such as road and school.